we need to add the try and catch block there. Add try block or try scope after the ticket description. Search for scope, then add it. Rename it try governance execution. Now in the setting, we need to make sure that after run just is successful is selected, nothing else, and it will be run fine. That's it for this step. We need to move all of our actions, including our case, into a try block. All of this portion into the try block. So we will do it step by step. First we move the get secret, then we move the pass session step, then we move the sanitize contract, then we move the HTTP query reg, and then the row, then our custom connector, then our JSON step once again, then add a new row, and at last our switch, complete switch. And that's it for the try block. Now we need to add cache block. Make sure one thing, we need to add cache block parallel to it, like the parallel branching. We need to add a parallel branch there, otherwise it won't work. So we need to add a parallel branch, otherwise the execution won't work properly and it will won't save the flow and it will throw us an error. Add a parallel branch. So we once again need to search for scope, click it, and now you see the parallel branch is added. Now we need to rename it once again. We rename it cache self-healing diagnostic. Now we need to add certain steps there. First of all, we need to add a compose block there. Search compose, click it, rename it to get failure details, and then put the inputs of it. Then we need to call for the try execution block. Try go and execution block. Basically, we are calling our try block. Save it. Then we need to add a filter array. After that, rename it to filter failed action. Then in the form, put the output of get failure detail. Then add it. Then in the filter query, add this item status formula. Add it is equals to failed. That's it for this step. Now proceed with the next. Now we need to add another compose block there. Click compose. Rename it get failed action summary. In the input, write this long formula. That's it. Proceed with the next step. In the next step, we once again post in a channel or card. There is one important distinction there. Currently, we already have a post in a channel in a hard stop block, but this post in a channel that we are adding in a catch block will run only when a flow failed, when a flow is timed out, or when we receive too much APIs request. In normal cases, it won't run. When the flow fails, it is block run. Otherwise, when the flow is normal, then the normal block is run. We will test it and I will explain it there. So let's proceed with that. In the post, then we post in a channel. Then the channel are teams channel, demo automation. Then the channel is a general channel. Adaptive code, I will upload the code there. And don't worry about the code. I have repeated it multiple times. I will provide every info. That's it for this step. We have filled all of our values in it. Let's proceed with our next step, in which we add our final send an email V2 step, and then everything will be completed successfully. And then we proceed with the test cases. Send an email V2, this one. Choose the recipient, then the subject. Once again, don't forget to on the toggle mode and move this paragraph, and then paste this beautiful code there. All of our steps failed successfully. Now before proceeding with the test, we need to configure our cache block setting. We have set run after certain conditions. We need to select an action there. Make sure in the cache block you have to configure tried governance execution, otherwise it won't work, and we need to select that. Because we have created the parallel branch, if we don't select that, it won't work properly and it will fail its execution fully. And also we need to check all of these options. This one, this one, this one. This is has failed, is skipped, has timed out, and we need to uncheck this because catch block only runs when a flow either it is timed out, either it is skipped, or either it is failed. That's it for a catch block. So we now need to save a big pipeline, and then we can proceed with the testing of use cases. We first normally test a flow on a hard stop as well as a approved case, and then we test a try and catch block. So let's proceed with the saving of a flow. Click save. Now our flow is saved successfully, and now our flow is saved successfully, and you have seen how big it is, and even it is not filling in the screen, so it is quite big. We first need to proceed with the test case. So let's proceed with the test case. Click test, then manual test, then file upload. We will test it first with the hard stop case. We will upload this policy which is not relying with the policies and it will hard stop a project. Our flow starts running, our trigger executes successfully. You see our flow is running fine up till now, and you see our flow ran successfully and a hard stop run successfully. Proceed with the Power Apps. We already have 4 row of data. We need to update it and see a hard stop if row is added or not. You see a hard stop row added there and this one, and it updates the data successfully. Now we need to proceed towards the channel. So you see this is the newest notification in our channel, and you have seen this beautiful card. In the card we receive our ticket ID as well as vendor partner as well as verdict of hard stop SLA breached as well as a risk score. It is 100 by 100 as well as this is the AI analysis reconciliation summary. This is directly from the model and our RAG AI search that we use. The contract exceed the maximum approved transaction value of 15,000 USD and specify a liability cap greater than 10,000 USD, triggering a hard stop later. So view a database ledger. Now we proceed towards our email. You have seen this is the email in which emergency audit block. This is the ticket ID. This is the attention corporate risk operations, and this is the SLS status hard stop, and this is the critical risk, and this is the policy mismatch and risk finding. And these are the required mitigation steps. It violates these 3 steps. Review the contract for compliance with financial thresholds and budget limitation, access the liability cap, and payment during terms against the established policy. Implement a hard code on a contract due to material breaches. So now our hard code is working fine. Our flow ran successfully. Our hard code phase 2 is working fine. Now we need test a proof case, and then after the proof case we will test a try and catch block. Let's proceed to test our proof case this time. Click test, then manual test once again, and then upload the contract that will follow our guidelines. This is tech global policy, which is follow our policies guidelines. So we will upload that. Wait a bit and our flow will run. Our flow starts running, and this time it will hopefully run the approved case. You see our flow ran successfully. We proceed towards the SharePoint and see either a file is moved successfully to a successful folder now. So we need to refresh it, and you see file is already moved, and we need to proceed a approved folder, approved contract, and you see our tech of global policy is there. So this step works pretty well. So now we need to proceed once again our V2 email and see. So you see we received this beautiful template, pretty beautiful template email, and we have received compliance approved as well as the ticket as well as the SLS status approved and compliance risk is 0. And this is the policy that is directly from a reg search and from a model, and these are the recommended tips. Both of our use cases, hard stop and approved case, are working fine. Now we need to proceed to test a try and catch block. So since we are not in a production and we need to test a try and catch block, so we need to make a little adjustment in our flow so it will fail, and then we will test it accordingly. In the sanitized contract, we need to change the function key. For example, we will put some random text there, a half key there. So in this way, our flow will fail. We will see the execution of a cache block. If it executes well, then it will execute well. Otherwise, if it's not, then we need to change certain parameters accordingly. We change it partial key. We can choose any key because eventually we want this flow to be failed. This one because this is a wrong key, open API key, and this hard coded key, and I will remove certain part of it to make sure the flow fails. So we need to save a flow, save it. Our flow saves successfully, and now we need to test a try and catch block. We need to test it once again with manual test, click test, and manual test. We once again need to upload a file. We need to move a contract intake folder and need to upload a file. Upload any file we want our flow to fail, and hopefully it will fail. Our flow starts running, and you see our try block executes successfully, and our flow is failed at the sanitized contract, and we will see if a cache block runs or not. So due to some reason our cache block won't run, you will see our flow run failed and a cache block execution won't be successful. So why is it so? I have find the error. So you see in the run after we have select two options, ticket description and try governance execution. Ticket description will run only when a flow will execute successfully. So we just need to delete this step and after that it will work fine. Edit it first and then in the cache flow and the setting we need to remove this part and save the flow. So you see, even you are experienced developer or even you have years of expertise, you always face the errors. And this is the beauty of the development. It will polish you in a way that you face much and much errors and you got more and more expertise. So that's why I intentionally wanna show you this error, how I remove this. So now we will save this flow and run it once again, and hopefully this time our cache block will work fine and execution will be according to our needs. So save it, save a flow, click save. Our flow saves successfully. Now we can proceed with the test once again. Click test. Manual test. We once again want to test a try catch block, upload a new file there. Any policy file because we want to fail our execution. Our flow starts running and hopefully this time it will execute our try and catch block successfully. So you see it execute a try block and fails at the sanitized contract. And you see guys, it is successfully execute a cache block and we have see a notification in the postcard as well as receive an email. Move towards the Teams channel and then see what we receive. First we click our channel and this is the notification we have received and you see this is far more different notification from the hot stop. In the hot stop, we saved this one critical compliance audit block, and this time we received this one system exemption trap. Nexus audit pipeline bypassed and recovered. Trigger Nexus, and this is the ticket ID as well as orchestrator status shall fail, failover active. The execution of try governance execution halted due to runtime error. So it's basically tell us why we receive this. It's basically due to the runtime error. Failed action, sanitized contract error code unauthorized. It executes the try and catch block, not the same block there. This is a current email that we received. Runtime crash captured, incident tickets and attention and everything. Orchestrator state will be failover active and trigger resources will be according to and scope and execution summary. That's it. Now execution of try and catch block and all of our use cases including approved as well as failed case worked